Hi, this is Tommy with Teardrop Rental. So today we are introducing our new edition once again. But this one I really like. I mean, I like my other ones, but this one has a unique frame to it, literally. And you can stand up in it, you have a shower, and I will provide a bathroom with it. A toilet with it, not a whole bathroom. Anyway, however, in this video, we are actually only going to cover 3 components. We are going to we're going to cover the refrigerator, we're going to cover the water heater, and we're going to cover the heater itself. The reason why I'm splitting this up is because these components are very intense. For me, they were. And so I feel as a customer, if I was renting one of these, I would definitely want to know about these 3 components separately and not get overwhelmed with everything. And then let's say if you're out on a rental, you could just watch this one if you have more questions on it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the refrigerator, then we're going to move inside the cab and cover the other 2 components. All right, let's do this. Okay, so this is where your refrigerator, 3-way refrigerator components will be stored to turn it on. The thing that I want to cover over with you real quick is the fact that these need to be cleaned. So let's say you get out there and you're out there for a day or so and all of a sudden you have a bunch of bugs in here, in which that would happen because you're in nature. Or let's say you went through mud on the road out there. Make sure all this is cleaned off when you get out there, okay? I just want to make sure I stress that because you don't want anything to actually get inside and nest, okay? Because I don't want anything brought home to me and you guys don't really want anything inside the cab. Not sure if they can get in the cab, but let's just cover our bases and not have anything nest inside of here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up these. So how I do that, I'm gonna lower the camera. I'm gonna show you there are knobs right here, and we're gonna go ahead and get a flat screwdriver to open those, unless you're really strong with your fingers, which I'm not. So yeah, it's kind of hard to turn them. So I'm gonna go get a flathead and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the flathead. So as I was saying, these little guys that keep this in place, which is very important, we're going to take the flathead and we're going to place it in here and we're going to turn up. So it needs to be going this way on both sides, and then once it is that way, we're going to go ahead and pop it off. It may be a little bit hard to get it off, so what you're going to do, you're going to grab in here or right here, I kind of like it right here, and you're going to pop it off here, okay? Ta-da! Now this is exposed. I'm going to move the camera around so you can actually see inside of here, and then we can talk about what you're seeing. Okay, so now that's we're moved over and you can actually see what I'm talking about. I wanted to share this with you. It is a 3-way refrigerator, and what that means is that the refrigerator can run off of 3 different ways. So you have your propane, which is right here. So when you're looking at this, think of it splitting it down the middle, okay? So this is just for your propane, okay? Just for your propane. This is for the battery itself. So it can, I apologize. One is for the battery, a 12-volt battery, which is up at the front. And then that's the red button, okay? The green is for the electric. So when you're plugged in with that cable into an electric source, that's where this green button will come into, okay, play. This is the red button, which is for the battery, to run it off the battery. And then this is for your propane. We're gonna go over how to light each one of these and control them, okay? However, I wanted to insert something real quick. When you're renting from me, I do not let any of my clients run the battery, the red one. So I will actually have a note here stating do not run it. It's not recommended to run off the battery because it kills your battery very fast. So if you're watching this and you're just watching it to learn how to work your refrigerator, there's a note for you. Try not to run it off the battery if you can, all right? So again, green is for if you're plugged into electric source. Red is for your battery, don't use it. And then on this side is your propane. Okay, so to light it off of this side, all you're going to do It's pretty self-explanatory, however, I am going to cover it. You're going to push this button up, and then now it's on. And same with this one. You're going to push it up, and it's on. Do not run multiple at the same time. Only run one at the time. So run your propane, or run the battery, or run electric source. Do not run more than one. Okay? So once you have it on, so let's say that you're running it off of electric source, you're going to pop it up, and then you're going to adjust it with this knob on this side. It has 1 through 7. I don't have my glasses on. 1 through 7. So you would just turn it to the temperature you want your refrigerator at. Okay? So that covers that side. Now let's talk about the propane. This model, they are very good with how the propane works. So the pipes where your propane will actually flow through are drained. After the propane's off, it has it where it flushes them. With saying that, the reason why I'm telling you this is because when you turn this on, it may take a little bit to pull all the propane in. Okay, so first step when you're running this out of propane, you're going to go and open the valve on your propane. Okay, step 1. Step 2 is that you're going to turn this knob to high. Okay, so you're going to flip it over to high, and you're going to push this down. So if you can see my fingers, you're going to push this down, and you're going to hold for 30 seconds. Okay, again, turn it on high, and then you're going to leave it on, push down for 30 seconds, okay? Then after those 30 seconds, you're going to ignite it. The ignite button is right behind it. It's a red igniter. Red for fire, just think of it like that, okay? So, all right. So you have this on high, you push down for 30 seconds, and then you hit the igniter while still holding this down, because you need that propane to cycle into the tank. Okay, so 30 seconds, hit this, light it, and keep holding this down for another 10 seconds. Okay, when you have it, to check to see if it's lit, I'm not lighting it right now, but to check to see if it's lit, all you're going to do is come over here and open this little thing, and you're going to see a little flame here. It's a blue flame. That will show you that it's lit. If it's not lit, repeat the steps again, turn it off, and repeat the steps again. Okay? All right, so that covers our refrigerator. And I'm just going to recap. This is 3-way. You have your propane, you have your battery, and you have the electrical source. Do not run multiples at the same time, only run one at the time. Okay, so now we're finished with this. So let's say you're out there, you're good to go, and then you're getting ready to leave, and you're done. You're gonna put this back on, make sure it's clean. Sorry, I'm gonna show you. Make sure it's clean of any bugs, any residue, because you do not want it to get in here. Because again, if this little thing's open and something gets in there, fire, bugs, you name it, leaves. So we're gonna make sure this is clear. I mean, you can see that it's got these at the top, so something can crawl into there. All right, so now we're gonna put this back on. This is very important because so many people lose these on the freeway when they don't put them back on correctly. So you're gonna take this and you're going to slide it up and then pop this back in place. And then you're gonna take either your fingers or the tool, and you're gonna take the knob and you're gonna twist it to close it that way, okay? So now it's going vertical. And I'm gonna do the same on this side, make sure it's popped in and turn it. All right, see how flat it is? Nothing sticking out. So that means air cannot get into there and blow it off. Okay, so now we have covered this. It's on tight. I would give it a little pull too, just to make sure. Okay, and then these are closed. We're good to go with the refrigerator. Now we're going to go ahead and move into the cab and go over the lighting the hot water heater and the heater. Okay, I'll see you inside. We are inside the cab of the 2022 Aliner. Now we get to go over the water heater. Over here, we have the different switches to control the water heater. Number one step, make sure your propane's open. So you go out there, open your propane, you're like, check. Now you're gonna come in here and all you're going to do is flip this up. And then once it is hot, this will kick on. That's it. But like I was saying when I was outside with you talking about the refrigerator, this model is very good about cleaning out the propane. So let's say that you haven't set up your refrigerator yet and that was the first time that you're actually going to open the propane. It's going to take a little bit to cycle through to the water heater. Okay, so give it a couple moments, give it about 30 seconds to a couple minutes. If it still hasn't kicked on, if this light has not came on, shut it back off and then go redo it. Okay, then just flip it back on, wait, and again, okay? And then if it's still not lighting, you may want to check your fuses to make sure that nothing happened with the fuses and so forth, okay? But if you're my client, call me. Okay, and then I will walk you through how to troubleshoot. Don't follow that unless you're not my client. All right, water pump is right there. You're gonna flip it up to turn the water pump on. And then that's just nothing. Okay, and we've already talked about the refrigerator. So this area covers the water heater and the water pump. Like we've talked about it, down is off, up is on. Wait 30 seconds for the propane to, oh, that's what I was going to tell you. I'm sorry. The other thing you can troubleshoot, you may be out of propane. That might be the other thing, the reason why it's not heating up. You might want to check that. Okay, we've covered the water heater. So now we're going to cover the heater itself. Just insert a note real quick on the heater. If you're renting from me, I will loan you a space heater because this area is not very big and you really don't need the furnace on. However, if you prefer to have the furnace on, feel free. But if you prefer just to have a little space heater, it will work just fine, I promise. Now we are on to the furnace. So the furnace sits underneath the sink and the stove right next to the refrigerator. Okay, so I know this angle is not the best, but what you're looking at the sink and the stove and then the furnace. The furnace is, this furnace, when this is on, this is controlled by the battery and the propane. Just want to let you know that's what, this one will have the hot air coming out when it's under the battery and the propane. If it's plugged in to a electrical source, it's going to come out underneath the vent. And I'm gonna flip around and you're going to see the two controls. One is for when it's running off the battery and the propane, and one is for if it's running off an electrical source. And I'll flip around so you can actually see where the air is going to come out. Real quick, sorry, I forgot, I wanted to add something. When you have the furnace on, it will set off the alarm for the smoke detector. What I suggest to my clients is either have a window open or have the fan above on where it's pulling the air out, because the fan is a three-way switch. So one is it will suck air out, it will suck the air out, and then one is it'll pull air in. So when you're turning on your furnace, put the fan on, it will suck the air, all the stuff that's coming out of it out, and it will not set off your smoke detector. So don't freak out if you turn on your furnace and your smoke detector goes off, okay? It's not leaking or anything, it's just some stuff is in there and the smoke detector doesn't like it. So that covers the furnace when it's on the battery and the propane. Now let's move over to when it's on the electrical source. So where I am positioned right by the big bed, the queen size bed, and I'm on the floor. So as you can see, we have a fuse box here, and you have your sensor for if there's propane or if there's gas, or I believe the other thing is propane, gas, and then something else, carbon monoxide. Got it. That is your sensor right there. Just a side note, I check this before any rental goes out, so you are fine. You're more than welcome to check it, but I check it also to make sure you are good to go. As a person that's not my client and is just watching this, make sure you check it. You just want to make sure you're good. Okay, so next to me is your vent. This vent will bring out cold air and hot air when you are plugged into electrical source that will run the AC and the heater. And remember, we already talked about if it's off the battery, that's going to come off that furnace. I'm going to flip the camera around so you can actually see the controls that control different units. So one will control the furnace and then one will control the AC and the heater. Okay. All right, so now I am still positioned on the floor next to the queen bed. However, I've swung my body around so you can see the two different components and which one controls which. Where this is positioned on the sink, underneath the sink, on the side wall. So here is your furnace control, and here is the control for the AC and the heater. They both are pretty self-explanatory, but we'll go over it. You just move this at the top to the level of airflow that you would like to come out. And then over here is its on button is right there. And then you would move the temperature from here up. Of course, it's pretty self-explanatory as your AC at home. This does come with a remote. However, I do not leave the remote inside the camper when it goes out on rentals. I just don't want people to be responsible in case it gets lost or something or broken. All right, that is it. That is your furnace, and that is if it's plugged into electrical source. That covers the refrigerator, the water heater, and the heater itself. I hope this was very helpful for you. And if you're watching this to just learn about your new Aliner, thank you so much for watching it. And I hope you have a great day. And today is actually New Year's Eve in 2021. So tonight is New Year's. I guess the whole day is, but anyway. I just wanted to say Happy New Year to you guys and welcome to 2022. It's going to be a fantastic, fantastic year. I know it is. So this is Tommy with Teardrop Rental, and I hope you have a Z Teardrop Rental, and I hope you have a great New Year's and year. Bye.